All right, everyone, here's the spreadsheet that I want you to fill out for this week's coming business planning session. So you'll see that I have my 4 tabs across the top here. If you're using a PC, your tabs, or you're on Excel, your tabs are across the bottom, but that doesn't really matter. It's going to be the same function regardless of which way you go. So the first tab is called forecast, and what I want you to do is just be on this tab for me. It might be down here at the bottom. It's called forecast. And on here, you're going to see there are a number of orange boxes, and all that I want you to do on the first tab is fill out the orange boxes. So you'll see, I'll have to change this, what your 2016 income goal will be, and I'll change this before I send it out. But what I want you to do is just put in what your gross commission income goal will be. So that's before splits, taxes, expenses, all that kind of stuff. Just put in what your gross income goal will be, okay? So if I'm going to look for $150,000 in 2016, then I'm going to put that in here and put that in the box. And you'll see that some of the stuff over here on the left is going to change as we move this different stuff around. So next thing we want to know is what your average commission is. So if you don't know that, then we'll use the market average. The market average commission around here is around $6,500. So we'll put that $6,500 in there, and that would be the way that I would calculate that. But if you have your past trades, which you should have sent to you in the next little bit as well, you can easily figure out what your average commission is by totaling them all up and dividing by the number of trades that you have. How many weeks vacation you'll take this year? This is just so that we can mark this down. I think it's important that you have an understanding of how much time you want to take off. The next thing that I want you to do is figure out what your percentage of buyers is. So by that I mean, like if you do 10 deals, does that mean you're going to sell 7 listings and you're going to have 3 buyers? Or are you going to have 7 buyers, in which case you would have a 70% buyer ratio, okay? No need to put in the seller ratio. The spreadsheet's going to calculate that automatically for you. Okay, so if you're going to be a 50-50 person, you're going to have half buyers, half sellers. We'll put in 50% there. Okay. Then the next question, and this is one of those ones that really difficult to predict, but we're just trying to get some numbers around this. So what percentage of buyers you start to work with actually buy something? So if you think that that's only maybe 10%, then you go ahead and put in 10. If you think that that's, if you meet 10 people and 5 of them actually buy something from you, then you go ahead and put in 50%. And so we'll leave that at 50 for now. What percentage of your listings actually sell? This is the one that's been hit the hardest in the past little while. I want you to go ahead and fill out what percentage of your listings actually sell in the course of a year. So if you've tracked this and you know this, then you can put in whatever that actual percentage is. If not, you could just kind of guesstimate, and we'll say that maybe 60% of our listings are selling right now in our business. And then the next question is, what percentage of your listing appointments do you actually convert? Do you actually take the listing on? So if you go on 10 listing appointments, are you getting 8.5 of those listings? Are you getting 9? Are you getting 7? And there's something we need to do to sort of help out with that. So, if you have an idea of what your percentage is right now, put that in. If not, guesstimate. Let's say in this case, this person is going to say that 8 out of 10 they're going to get. What their target commission rate is for each of their deals that they do. So you can make that 2.5%, 3%, whatever your target commission rate is there. So I'll say 2.5 there, and I'll have to add. I have to change that so it doesn't round up as well. And then, what your target sale price is. So like if you want to be doing business in a slightly higher end kind of property, then you're going to raise that up. So if you want to do business in that $500,000 range, then you can do that. If not, then you can go ahead and adjust that downwards to like 350 or something like that. And of course, the market average right now in this area is 275. So maybe we'll just put that in 275 for this person. Okay, that's all I want you to do on that first sheet. What you'll see is that as you're doing that, it's going to do some calculations for you over here on the left. So if I want to make $150,000, my average commission is $6,500. That means I have to do 23 ends this year. And because I'm half buyers, half sellers, that means I got to do 11.5 of each. So probably 12 of one, 11 of the other. Because I only get half of the buyers I start working with to buy something, that means I got to find 23 buyers this year, or approximately 2 a month. And because I only sell 60% of the listings I take, that means I have to find just under 20 listings, and I only convert 80% of my listing appointments. So that means I have to go on 24 listing appointments this year to turn into 19 listings I take, which turns into the 11.5 sellers that I actually sell their property for. So that means I got to go on I have to find 2 new listing leads per month and 2 buyer leads per month to finish at my 23 ends, to finish with my $150,000 in gross commission. So that's how that adjusts. If you scroll down and you look at the bottom, what we've done then is we've taken all these numbers, these commission numbers, and we've broken them out over the way that business tends to fall over the course of the year. Okay, so the monthly breakdown of the 2016 monthly breakdown will be 6% January, February, 8%, 9% in March, that kind of thing. So we're going to basically break this down so you understand what level of business you should be trying to achieve every month. Okay, in terms of the total ends you need to do, how many buyer, how many seller, and how many appointments you need to go on, buyer and listing appointments you need to go on. Okay, so that's there. You don't have to change any of these numbers down here. They're just here for your informational purposes to know that in June you should be doing 3 ends. May you should be doing 3 ends, whereas in December really the expectation is you might not even get one. You might just get the one. Okay. So the second page that I want you to go fill out is this budget page. So what I've done is I've set up a little bit of a home and business budget for you. It's a very rudimentary, simple thing, okay? And all I want you to do is fill out the yellow boxes. So I want to know what your annual costs are for your car, for your insurance, for your fuel, for your maintenance on your car. So your annual board and licensing stuff. So your insurance, that kind of thing, okay? So the only, this is just setting a budget for yourself. I've put in a rough commission split based upon that $150,000 that you're going to make. Probably because I adjusted from 100 up to 150, I should adjust that up as well to whatever that's going to be. And again, you're just trying to figure out the rough calculation based on the commission plan. So the next thing is then go ahead and figure out what your home budget is. So you're going to go ahead and fill in all of these numbers here in terms of what your home costs are, that kind of stuff on an annual basis. So we're only filling out the annual side of the sheet. So just everything that's colored yellow, I want you to go ahead and put in an annual number there, and that's going to help us as we figure everything else out. The third sheet we'll talk about during the session itself is a deal tracking sheet, and this is going to help you understand where you are versus your goal during the run of the year. And the fourth is this dashboard here. So we have a little dashboard in terms of how you're doing in terms of the year so far. So as we've changed that 150 on the other sheet, it shows us that our goal is $150,000 here, and then as we track it on the deal sheet, it'll show us how much we have pending, how much we have written, and how far we are off of our goal. And you can see we have those 23.1 deals that we have left to do this year and $150,000 worth of business. If you filled out the budget as well, it's going to tell you what your total expenses are, and as we go through and add deals, it's going to add expense for how much actually comes off of your commissions each time in terms of taxes and split and things like that. And then it'll show you if you're actually in a profitable or loss position. And we're going to go through all this during the session itself. But important that you've gone and you've filled out the stuff on the forecast tab and the budget tab. Again, the tabs might be at the bottom for you, so I want you to just fill out the orange squares here, and then on the budget page, I want you to fill out the yellow squares on the budget page, okay? Any questions, please feel free to drop me a text or an email. You know how to get a hold of me.